Ladies and gentlemen of the press, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's a very special occasion, and as Salil said, thank you for braving the rain, very unexpected. Super happy to have you here. We are privileged to be in the company of India's top fighters tonight, and as well as two guests from overseas, from Ireland and Kyrgyzstan. So please give them a big round of applause. Without further ado, I think we should open the floor for questions.
You just raise your hand and then we'll go ahead with questions. Yes, on the extreme left there, Manan. Can somebody just give a mic? Yeah.
So my question is to Ayesha ma'am. We've seen a lot of amateur events in the last year as well as this year, and we've seen that many MFN fighters have been selected from those events. So is this ecosystem intentional, and can we expect to see more such feeder events giving athletes an opportunity to perform, win, and then get selected in MFN?
Yes, absolutely. Currently, we have one MFN contender event per year. The plan is to take this up to 4. We currently have 4 major MFN fight nights. The plan is to take this up to 8. So the point is that we want to have the best fighters of the country signed to MFN. And it's not just about having them signed to the promotion, it's about giving them multiple fights per year. That's what really matters. So yeah, that's the plan going forward, and we're working towards that.
Wow, so the action literally doubles.
Yes, absolutely.
Did you just say that the 4 MFN events that happen every year are going to turn into 8?
That's right.
Wow,
that's
right.
Amazing. Yes.
Thank you so much.
That is the best news that any one of us could have heard. Fantastic. Pura floor, go ahead, please go ahead. Yes, Rahul. I'm just going to give this mic on this side as well. So can just someone come and take mine as well? Yeah.
So my question is to Krishna. This is the second time on Hotstar. What are the major changes you've experienced in terms of overall show ever since MFN 10?
Yeah, so MFN is extremely grateful for this partnership with Hotstar. You know, with Hotstar comes more visibility for us. I believe everything has its right time, and I believe this is the time for MFN to be seen even more by everyone.
Thank you.
Yes, so the mic is right there. Why don't you just go right ahead? Yeah.
I have a follow-up question for Krishna. The vision that you started with, and now 10 shows later, what would you say? Are you on track of achieving that vision, and how is the future shaping up? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are seeing the vision. I'm so proud of Matrix Fight Night and everything it's been able to achieve in such a short period of time. You know, 4 years is not a lot for a promotion. And 2 years were taken off due to COVID. So extremely proud, and it was only possible with, you know, our extremely resilient team. I believe our trajectory is unmatched, and this is only the beginning.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
So now since we are talking about Disney Hotstar, this is my question to Coach Allen. So Coach Allen, in the previous presses we've been talking about OTT, we were talking about title belts, we were talking about feeder events. Now we've seen it all. We've got Disney Hotstar, we've got the feeder event, which is MFN Contenders, and we've got the title fights. Now, I want to ask you that what other surprises do you have in store for all the MMA and MFN fans in the country?
I think ma'am already let the cat out of the bag. We have 8 events a year, that's the pro fight nights that we'll be having. And as far as the contender or the feeder shows that are there, they're going to double up to 4. Not really double up, we did 1 last year, it's going to be 4 times more. Thanks, Salil. So that's what we have, and other than that, there'll be a lot of international flavor. You see the gentleman sitting right next to me and the gentleman next to him. So that's only going to get bigger and bigger. Probably we'll need a bigger press conference arena with a lot of international flavors, giving a run for their money to all the Indian athletes as well. So that's the surprise. No more anymore.
Thank you so much.
You know, Rahul, one sec, for members of the press that probably are joining us for the first time also. So our 4 MFN big fight nights happened, and the last one also happened in Dubai. And the feeder events, jaise ye baat kare, that is where all the contenders, you know, so we have a fight card, jo aapke paas pada hua hai, there's an undercard and there's a main card, there's a co-main event and there's a main event. So that is how the demarcation is done, and that's the reason why they're asking what is going to happen with that. So, what your undercard wali fights are, those have come from the contender events. Just to sort of explain a little bit there. Yeah.
Right. So another question to Coach Alan. MMA is getting popular in the country and across the continent. Now, we see a lot of foreign promotions eyeing on domestic talent, but then they fail to pick the best talent and the right talent. However, what we see at MFN is we've got the best talent from India and outside. What is your say on it?
Well, exactly. We have the best of the best at MFN, and there won't be it won't be too long that you'll see the international fighters also flocking into MFN, because the ecosystem, like Krishna said, we built it in such a way that we want the fighters to be comfortable for the fight. And when I say that, you know, for everybody who doesn't understand what it takes to be a fighter, there is a process when the fighter lands at the airport right until he enters the cage. If you don't make the fighter feel comfortable enough to enter the cage, the fights can go either way. And I just had a brief chat with John also. So the things that happen around the world, where fighters are treated, where fighters are, you know, taken into promotions when they don't know what to expect. MFN has laid out that plan very, very clearly. So the day one a fighter enters or rather signs a contract with MFN, they know what they're getting into right till the day they want to just plan their future ahead. So yeah, I think we are in a good space.
Right. So
Yeah, and I just also want to add to that, Matrix Fight Night, you know, with every show we're just growing leaps and bounds, and I think that's pretty evident and very visible. There is no MMA in India without Matrix Fight Night.
very true.
You can ask the fighters as well. Our fighters also open to questions. Please go ahead.
So my question is to John. So John, this is your second fight in India.
Yep.
The previous one was in Manipur in November last year. What is the difference between that event and here?
This is much, much better. And I like Alan a lot as well.
Right. So you'll be facing Seth for the title fight, and
Shrikant,
sorry,
co-main event.
sorry, you'll be
Shrikant.
facing. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Seth was just looking at me. So you'll be facing Shrikant in the co-main event. How's your preparation?
Preparation has been absolutely amazing. Like, we train with world-class athletes in all the big organisations in Dubai. I've got my head coach Milano. That we live in fight camp. You know, we don't go in and out of it, so it's been really, really good. And I'm sure you're going to see something very special tomorrow.
All the best.
Just for your accent, brother, I want to give a lovely round of applause. I love the Irish accent. It's beautiful. Yes, after we check. Right behind you, Rahul, yeah. Please.
Thank you everyone for having us here. This is That Geek Farm from That Geek Farm show. So I would just like to remind, Seth is on a 3-fight win streak, Dakan Beg is on an 8-fight win streak. So there's a lot more online than just the welterweight title of the world. So does that put any extra pressure on both of you?
Shrikant, to you and to Dakan Beg, both of you. Seth and Dakan Beg, both of you.
I'm treating it like just another fight, focusing on things I can control, putting my energy moment to moment, doing my best. In a way, it is different than any other fight because of the pageantry that's built around it, but I'm not letting that affect me. So I'm happy this is my 10th pro fight. That's a victory for me, and I think the future will take care of itself.
One more thing, both of you guys have a great ground game. So like, does that thing there, like you have to prove it to the other guy that you're better than him, or like something like that? Like both of you
Here
guys
to win by any way necessary.
Hi guys, my name is Shroff Ayesha. I fight in main event. I am very happy to fight main event for title. I am very happy, very ready, inshallah. Tomorrow I will show one of the best fights in the event, inshallah. Very happy.
मेरा नाम तकदीर सिंह है और मैं इंटरव्यू टीवी से हूँ मैम। ऐसा ही नमस्कार।
Namaste.
हिंदी में बात कर सकता हूँ आपसे? Can we continue in Hindi?
Yes, I understand it. My Hindi is a little rusty.
Actually, when I was coming in press conference, I met some of the writers
and they are passing time together, they are living together. So somehow they have become some friend, like friends. How they will, I asked them how they will fight each other when they do have become the friend.
Yeah, we're not all friends.
So, so another question mine is that in Hindi band, especially, people are not much aware of MF and Matrix fight nights. So, what are your plans for Hindi band? Your viewers who would start, those who became interested in your fights for Hindi band. What are you planning for that?
So, the interesting thing is, if you see fighters all over India, the maximum number of pro MMA fighters come from the northern and northeastern side of the country. So I think there itself you have part of your answer. And with regard to the other bit of it, these athletes are professional athletes. They are not street fighters. They are highly trained, and they bring all that skill to a fight in the cage. Outside the cage, they are just normal guys, and they can be friends. But once the cage door closes, there's no more friends.
और हिंदी की बात मैं कर रहा हूँ, हिंदी कमेंट्री भी है हमारे पास और डिज्नी हॉटस्टार पर आप हिंदी कमेंट्री भी सुन पाएंगे। मैं भी हिंदी बात कर रहा हूँ, हमारे प्रोमोस भी हिंदी में हैं, तो हिंदी बेल्ट के लिए स्पेसिफिकली ये वी आर 60% हिंदी। तो इवन अगर हमारे फाइटर्स उस समय बात नहीं कर रहे हिंदी में, कमेंट्री भी हिंदी में हो रही है।
जी एक्चुअली मेरा मानना ये है कि हमें से बहुत सारे लोग, मीडिया के लोग, जैकी भाई को अपना बड़ा भाई या परिवार का आदमी मानते हैं। तो हमारे लिए आयशा भाभी जी हैं और कृष्णा और टाइगर हमारे लिए बच्चे जैसे। तो हमारी शुभकामनाएं हैं बच्चों के लिए कि जिंदगी में आगे करें। इसीलिए मैं हिंदी गाने सुनूंगा। तो मेरा आंसर ये था कि हमारे यहाँ भी बड़े पट्टे और पहलवान होते हैं, आपको पता है मेरठ में जी। तो इसलिए मेरी गुजारिश है हिंदी के लिए आप लोग क्या है सर है, बिल्कुल है। शुक्रिया शुक्रिया।
कल क्रिकेट में देखना, कल हमें देखना, ये सेम टाइम पर होगा। हम यही चाहेंगे, यही आपका सपोर्ट है।
I have a question for Dan sir and Alan sir, even you can answer this. At this press conference and even at this event, we have a Russian representative from Canada. So does that mean Russian fighters are going to be a part of MFN, or MFN is going to Russia? Can you let some more cats out of the bag, please?
I think what we are going to do with Russia is still very secretive. And but definitely, if you see a Russian international sitting in the front row, there's definitely something coming up with MFN. So I'll just leave it at that. And just to answer मिश्रा जी, आप बोल रहे थे मेरठ के पट्टे हमारी जगदीश सिंह जी मेरठ के पट्टे की बात करेंगे। हमारी पहली रो में एक मेरठ का पट्टा बैठा है, तो हमने सब जगह रिसर्च करके बैठे हैं। बस सपोर्ट आपका चाहिए कि अब आप बॉलीवुड के साथ साथ MMA भी देखें, क्योंकि जैकी दादा का प्रमोशन है।
ये सामने माइक आ सकता है प्लीज, सेकंड रो जी, नहीं आपके पीछे में आना, इधर सामने
आप दे दीजिए माइक। Hello, this is Sanjay Agarwal. I've been covering this on my World News portal. So my question was about when we were talking about mixed martial arts. So we have karate and we have other kickboxing. So where's our strength lie in the players? In which karate or kickboxing or which other?
See, if you talk about the sport of mixed martial arts, the very word defines itself. So somebody who has practiced karate for all his life has to evolve into a well-rounded skill set which is mixed martial arts. So एक कराटे वाला, if I may speak in Hindi to you, अगर एक कराटे वाला है, अगर उसको बॉक्सिंग नहीं आती है या सिर्फ फास्ट किक जो वो पॉइंट्स के लिए ले रहा है, तो शायद वो MMA में सक्सेसफुल ना हो पाए। अगर कराटे वाला किसी कुश्ती वाले के साथ रहता है जो उसको जिद करने के लिए कोशिश करेगा, तो शायद वो ना सक्सेसफुल हो। लेकिन जितनी भी कॉम्बैट स्पोर्ट्स की जो बैकग्राउंड्स हैं, अगर आपके पास किसी भी मार्शल आर्ट्स का बैकग्राउंड, तो आपके लिए इट इज़ ईजियर फॉर यू टू गेट इट टू MMA, because you already have that mindset of an athlete, of a fighter, to get it in the cage. So basically, if you're a karate person, you're welcome. If you're a wrestler, you're welcome. You could be from any sport. but you also need to be open-minded enough to evolve into the sport of mixed martial arts, because it's not one-dimensional like the other sports.
And do we have girls also participating?
Yes, we do. Unfortunately, not on this show, but in our previous show we had 2 girl fights, and there are more girl fights coming up in the next show. So please do keep following us.
And Ayesha ma'am, this is going to be held in Delhi, at Tal Katora.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so you people are going to be there for the event?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Thanks.
It's going to be tomorrow,
Yes.
starting at 6 p.m.
Great, thank you.
And to your question for the women fights, you can always go on Disney Hotstar. There are lots of the videos of the previous editions as well.
We'll watch.
And so you will be able to see that.
Great.
As you can see, I'm trying to spread it as much as I can. But yeah, this is, and also the reason why Coach Allen also there, one of the biggest fighters that we had of our country, and which is why, you know, that information came from his side as well. So a little bit of an education, and the more awareness we spread, I think the better it is for all of us.
Also, when it comes to the women, we just introduced our first belt for the women. One of our champions, Pooja, she was up against an American and defeated her in the first round.
Great.
Hello. Actually, I want to know how many countries will take part in this process, and I am reading the undercard and the main card. What is difference between this undercard and the main card?
Well, usually the undercard consists of fighters who are making their professional debut or who are still early years in their professional career. The main card consists of fighters who are more veteran, can I say, and whose records also speak for themselves.
And how many countries will take part?
The world is open to us, actually, and as I love to say, India is shining, and everybody wants to come here now. So MFN, we're happy to welcome fighters from all over the country who reach out to us and make the best matchups for our boys here and girls.
Ma'am, we've seen a lot of the undercard fighters perform really, really well in the past. And do you think that the undercard fighters could eventually give the veterans a tough challenge?
Wow, okay. I think with the undercard, there's an extra hunger, you know, to make a mark on the show. So sometimes, you know, you do get to see some really exciting fights. But then, like I always say, and you know, when I talk to Krishna every time post our events, this is the fight game, and you just can't predict it. What happens in the cage is something that's so unpredictable, you know, and a fighter could be in phenomenal condition, but if it's not his night, then you know he would lose to his opponent. But so it's a very unpredictable sport, and that's the beauty of it.
Got it, ma'am. Which fights are you most excited about in this card?
All of them, actually.
Awesome.
Me too? You waiting for my answer?
Yes, please.
I also want to give a special shout out to the guys on our undercard. You know, these guys, their professionalism and their hunger is very inspiring to see. Moving on to the main card, I believe rematches are always very interesting because they have a story to them. There's a certain build-up, so I'm excited to see the outcome between Neeraj and Oais. And of course, our co-main and main events. We have John from Ireland, who I believe is a great ambassador for the sport. He represents himself in and out of the cage very well, making him an exciting fighter. Srikanth, on the other hand, is extremely durable. The guy has no quit, which makes it an extremely exciting matchup. In our main event, we have Seth, who you know, we've seen evolve with each of his fights immensely. So he was known for his BJJ. Now I believe he's more of a well-rounded mixed martial artist today, and definitely has a lot more confidence than the first set that we ever saw in Matrix Fight Night. And then of course he faces a very tough opponent from Kyrgyzstan, who also comes with a huge fan following and a huge support. He has a record of 10-1. I think all of his fights actually are finishes, and not just on the ground or not just knockouts, so he poses a threat everywhere. So, you know, I was talking to a lot of people and I was asking them for their predictions, but nobody, it's really hard to pick a favorite for the main event, which makes it super exciting.
You want to ask a question? Can we just have the mic across here?
Question to John Mitchell. John, what do you think about your opponent and how you see the fight gonna go tomorrow?
You know, I joke around and stuff a lot, but I'm sure he's a nice guy. Like he's wearing sunglasses indoors for some reason. Fight as cheap as 3-piece suit, but look, I'm sure he's a tough competitor. Like he's yeah. I don't think too much about him, to be honest. Like I've fought a lot of guys, and I don't compete with anyone. I compete with myself. I'm going to take the situation.
The last time you fought was in a village in Manipur, so shut up.
Not similar to, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and you couldn't finish a guy who did not even know boxing. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, some Afghani 5-foot lad knocked.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Like you fought in some village in Manipur and no one was watching.
Are you going to get a new suit when you get knocked out?
I will anyways have a shoot, and anyways I look better than you, I perform better than you, I'm here in front of people, everyone eyes are on me, so you would like, you can have a mic and have your own way with the words, so it doesn't matter anyways.
Okay, but you do have receding hairline.
What?
You do have receding hairline on the whole.
What? What? Is that the only thing you're going to talk to me right now?
No, I'm going to knock you tomorrow.
John, are we going to see some blood tomorrow? I would love to see some blood, his blood.
Yeah, I don't know if you can afford the ambulance bills, to be honest. Like, but maybe.
I don't have to afford the ambulance bill. The company takes care of all these things. If you don't know, and I think you are illiterate. You have not read the contract properly.
Okay, we'll see blood. So
yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to it. It's all going to be violence.
Blows to be great. Just having one more. Question. Mike, आपके पीछे ही Mike.
Just wanted to know that have you made any arrangement for the compulsory dope tests of the fighters? Because I have attended few of the national level events and I have seen washrooms are dustbin full of used syringes during the martial art mixed events.
So what events have you attended where you've seen those?
Some of the local level or national level, any event, if you go to the mixed martial art event or any this type of event, you see dustbin full of used syringes. Okay. And I've seen the fighters using syringes in the toilets.
Okay. So first of all, you haven't seen our event. Secondly, I'd like you to come to our event. All our fighters are clean athletes. Secondly, the sports that you're talking about, I might stir a storm here, but the sports that you're talking about are pretty much Olympic recognized sports that you're talking about. So with MFN and MMA, it's the cleanest sport that we can offer to the public in general. Like I said, if you would come over to our events, if you see the athletes, these athletes landed from their flights from all across the world. The first thing that they did was give their medical tests. And we have the medical reports, they are all clean and clear. So we have nothing to worry about with these athletes.
I think that there is a difference between the medical test and the dope test.
Sir, these guys are clean athletes.
Also sorry to interrupt you, Coach, throughout Fight Week we have a very solid federation backing us, monitoring the entire event, monitoring all the athletes throughout Fight Week. So I think that's, that definitely differentiates us from the rest.
And sir, there are videos everywhere.
Yeah, I have
on Hotstar that show the tests.
Salil, I have one thing to say. Thank you, sir, for your very honest question. My very honest answer to you, Sergi. No, it's okay. Let him have the mic. It's fine.
That's Daniel Ayesha from the Gamma Federation.
No, please continue to stand, sir.
Can we give the mic back to the gentleman, please?
Yeah, we want to respect anybody who asks a question. We have no problem with any question you ask. My only very honest answer to you, as you very honestly said that you've attended many events where you've seen used syringes in the trash bins. Please visit our event tomorrow. You will see no used syringes in the bathrooms.
Thank you.
Said hi. Last time MFN was in Delhi and you were headlining for the super fight, and this time, since MFN is in Delhi, you are headlining for the main event for the title fight. Is it just Delhi or you have a super cool relationship with the place?
I enjoy it here. This is where I live. All my friends and family are here. I will fight wherever, whenever, but I do like it here.
just another question for Seth. Seth, why do you look so calm and zen? The gentleman right next to you looks, with his sunglasses, he looks like a gangster. And you look so calm and zen. So is this your methodology? Is this...
Shrikant and I are just opposites. We're two sides.
That's the yin and yang in the same gym.
We are completely opposites. When he gets hyped, I'm mellow. When I get hyped, he's very calm and mellow. So we even each other out. In big moments in my life, I try to think deeply about how I want to act and react and how I want to be. And I have come to the conclusion that I do my best and I'm able to perform at my best when I'm calm, when I'm prepared, when I breathe, and when I stay centered in myself. So I just try to be like that.
Amazing, thank you.
Hello, I'm Kritika from Z. This is for answer. The MMA is called in most of the places as an event, not sports. What would you like to say on this?
I think it's a sports event.
Yeah, but it's still said as event.
So anything that is as large, magnanimous and spectacular like this, I think that's why we call it an event. There's no hidden agenda to call it an event, because this is something that India is just waking up to. This is something that India is just realizing there is something like this that can exist and coexist with our beloved cricket. But that's why we call it an event, because it's such an event that you'll not forget it once you visit an MFN event.
I hope from tomorrow onwards it's a sport.
It is definitely. We've been fighting hard for it for the last 20 years, and here we are 20 years later speaking to you such fine people. So I'm sure it's going to be a great event tomorrow, and you're going to be a fan after the show.
All the best.
Thank you.
Okay, we wrap up with one last question. Yes.
My question is to Dancer. So this fight card, is full of young talent, and most of the people have come from MFN contenders. You as a sanctioning body, how tough or how easy was it pulling off MFN contenders in Nexus with IMA Nationals 2022, which was a 3-day event?
It's easy, because we're not here to disrupt the fight. We're here to enforce the fight. We're here to just encourage the athletes to compete. So for us, we're just in the shadows. All we're doing is enforcing the sanctity of the sport and ensuring that the athletes are safe and healthy at the end of the show. And if I can answer what ma'am asked about sport and event, at the grassroots level, mixed martial arts is a sport. When you reach matrix fight night level, it becomes an event.
GAMAF and IMA, they've been evolving with each and every event. What is the reason behind it? Like, we see a lot of changes and evolution with the sanctioning body.
What is the reason why MFN and GAMAF work together?
I'm saying
because we're both the best at our own levels.
I mean to say the evolution, if you look at unified rules and if you look at GAMAF rules, there are some changes. I mean, there's some differences between both the rules.
The change is only for the good. What we do is we put in a lot of research, and the change is only for the good. The changes are not to negatively impact the sport. The changes are only to enhance the sport, to make it more rational, more understandable, to make it more fair to the athletes, to make it more fair to the officials and to the sport in itself. So all the changes that happen within GAMAF are for the positive of the sport.
Right, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
One last one.
हाँ सर, please. लगता है अभी पसंद आ गया. Good.
Actually, I want to know the winner candidate, what winner will what get winner? What will be given? What will be given to the winner? A badge and a trophy and a cash.
Yes, definitely.
A lot of cash money.
Every fighter on MFN gets what you call show money, which is the basic pay. And then when he wins his fight, he gets a bonus, which is a win money, okay? Sometimes if a fighter performs spectacularly, so you get fight of the night or fighter of the night, KO of the night, then you get an extra bonus for that. And tomorrow we have our first welterweight title fight. So we have this beautiful belt on the line to win, and this belt is actually solid silver with real gold plating and hand enameled.
I'm very happy. And it's really, really a pride for so many. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for asking so many questions. And now what we've been waiting for is to see all the fighters in what we call a face-off. Yep. So big round of applause for the face-off before it starts. The face-off will Coach Alan is going to stand in the middle, and I'm going to call out the names, and we'll have all the fighters come in there, including the undercard, the main card, co-main event, and the main event. First up, in the undercard flyweight category, Lima Sunep, Im Chen, and Nong Mai Ten, Bon Jovi. Can we have them here, please? That's going to be the first fight tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, the flyweight category. Thank you, boys.
Tomorrow.
Okay, next up, Ritesh Paswan and Arshian Memon. This also is for the flyweight category. Time it all comes up. Come back with a broken hand. Let's see whether 11 is going to be the place where he triumphs. Mandeep Prajapati and Marilyn Nirmai in the other bantamweight fight. Let's keep the cheering going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the energy up. We keep it going. It's not always just about the friends, and they all train together, as was a question that was asked a little earlier. Let's go, moving on to the featherweight category, Shumren Goren and Manish. Let's go, Doctor! And that is going to be our fourth undercard fight. Moving on to the main card. Musaresh and Himanshu Kaushik in the flyweight category. Tomorrow evening, remember 7 p.m. we go live on Disney Plus Hotstar for all these fights. Alright, Musaresh and Himanshu Kaushik in the flyweight category in the main card. In the lightweight category, this one's going to be a bit of a revenge. Oves Yaqub and Neeraj Chopra. process. In the featherweight category, Rahul Thapa and Lawrence Kupa. Next up in the flyweight category, Dinesh Nadrin and Sagar Thapa. Oh, that's really close to comfort. Some words exchanged there. It's going to be an interesting night tomorrow. In the catchweight category, Dhruv Chaudhary and Chaitanya Gowli. This is the 63 kg category. It looks like, ladies and gentlemen. You've always gone for that. Good luck, gentlemen, for tomorrow. And now for the co-main event. Shrika taking on Sean Mitchell. And for the face-off, he does take off the shades. Let's go, John! Let's go, John! Like that? Thank you, gentlemen. If only we could be Coach Alan's ears and hear what was being said there. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the main event for tomorrow night. Seth Rosario taking on Ayesha. Big round of applause tomorrow is the main event. This one is something that we've been looking forward to. Both with impeccable records. And as you can see, physically also very well matched up. And this one is a title shot for the belt. As you can see, the welterweight belt on the extreme left. Seth Rosario taking on the Krishna Shroff. Good luck, gentlemen. Can we have a photo op? Can we have all the fighters up in front for a picture?
Thanks. Ladies and
gentlemen, those are our fighters for tomorrow night. Being our sponsor. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is another level for your big round of applause. One more question. For all the fighters and all the high officials. There will be more action on the picture.
ये वाला चेयर अंदर है।
All the support that we got from Gavin.
Now look at all of you. Now look at center, all of you.
Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
The fighters can start moving. You will be